Hello, and welcome to an interesting interview. It's been a while since I've had one, and I'm glad to start it back off with somebody that is actually pretty popular, but haven't really seen any interviews for him. Now, you'll probably know him as the creator of a lot of the G1 Abridged series and other funny animations. His voice on one of the latest videos, it was well, what is the latest video you were on? That was G5.
Oh, the ponies versus social media.
No, not that one. The
Isn't
one
that?
with
Oh,
Opaline.
the magic argument, I believe it's called.
There you go. The magic argument. This
Yes.
here is Jack, also known as ScooterTrix. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm glad you were able to make it today. And sure, a lot of people will probably have burning questions to ask you, but
Mm,
they will have to wait their turn. So anybody who wants to interview him after this, gotta hit him up. You know, you gotta pay his $100 fee and.
yes.
No, I'm joking,
Yes.
but
Thanks for that. Thank you.
no. All right. So Jack, and I'm gonna refer to you as Jack throughout the video. You know, for shortening purposes, so I don't have to say Scooter Tricks every time. Uh,
Okay.
so
I
Jack,
wouldn't want to either.
how long have you been a brony?
Uh, I've been a brony for over a decade now. I was back 2014 is when I first became a brony.
Huh? So you're an OG, huh?
Kinda. I'm not like an OG brony. I'm kind of like that sort of a little past the golden age, I guess, what everyone would say. In my opinion, I don't know. It always felt like the golden age was before me, but I'm pretty old now, so yeah, maybe.
No, I feel you. I've been a brony since like 2011, so I'm gonna tell you
Yeah, you're an
now.
OG. Yeah,
No, we're both OGs. I'll tell you. I think the last year of the golden era was 2016. Actually, it really was.
really.
Oh yeah, because I feel like that's when a point when we kind of had our highest levels of like people in the fandom, not coming in, like that was like 2014, 2015. Literally people in the fandom feeling like everything was being put out, people interacting. I felt like 2016 was one of our highest points, and then it surged again in 2019.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, the different eras definitely have different high points for sure, but okay.
All
Okay.
right. What episode did you come in on, by the way? Like, what was your first introduction episode?
The first one. It was the very first episode for
Wait,
me.
how did you get into the first episode, though? Like, what was that?
It was completely by accident. I didn't know anything about bronies or the fandom. I was kind of terminally offline until maybe late high school, so I didn't have much concept of like internet culture or anything before that point. But basically, I was going through Netflix one day, and I was looking for a bad movie to rip on, and I saw Friendship is Magic, and I'm like, oh. Yeah, that's probably pretty bad. Let's do it. And yeah, um that's how it started. I watched because I'm making fun of it at first. But then, after a while I kind of stopped making jokes and I'm just kind of just watching it. Because it's a very competent show. It takes you by surprise. You don't, it's very yeah, it's better than you think it's gonna be. Um and then I actually forced myself to stop watching. I watched till episode 3, and then I was like, I can't do. If I do this, I'm gonna get obsessed with this like little like children's show. I can't do this. I have to stop. So I actually stopped for a year or so.
Well,
Um,
here you are now. I mean, clearly,
yeah,
you fell for the trap.
I got sucked in. Yeah, it was the John Delancey documentary of all things actually that was sort of the tipping point because a friend of mine was into the show that I met when I moved, and he was into the show, and he showed me that documentary, and that was kind of my real first exposure to bronies and the whole that culture. and I was very intrigued by the creativity and how open the community seemed to be. And um, I started to just do a lot more research, watch the Saber Spark documentaries and the top 10 lists, which exposed me to a bunch of like creators and stuff. So I kind of slowly got into it. And then, yeah, 2014, I was like, okay, all right, I'm a brony. I'll watch the show. And yeah, I've never left.
Well, thankfully, because as people have said, the ride never ends. You're on here forever, dude.
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah. My old self was right.
All
My
right.
teenage self was right.
So, with the concept of friendship is magic, where friendship is the ultimate power in Equestria and it fuels the magic that's all around them. Tell me your thoughts on that.
It's a really cute concept. I like there's a lot of things you can do with it in the show. I think just that idea in general, like friendship is magic, I think it's true in a way. It is like friendship is it's very special. And there's a lot of things, I guess, benefits to life from having friends and getting to share experiences with people and that kind of thing. I think whenever I go to conventions, that's always kind of the best part, honestly, is going to see friends again and also meeting new people. Um, Literally the last con I went to, HarmonyCon, I think maybe my favorite part was like literally just sitting in a hotel room talking with people about the show. That may have been my favorite part. The whole con was great, but I don't know. Yeah, so I think it's good. It's a good concept, I'd say. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Friendship is magic.
And I'm sure I know the answer, but I want to hear the why. Has MLP changed your life in any way?
Oh yeah. Yes. I still say Friendship is Magic's probably the most influential show in my life. Um Not, and it's kind of in two major aspects, I'd say. So the first aspect is simply because of how many people that I've gotten to meet, and so just from the show's existence itself has changed my life. So it's responsible for me going down a more animation route. I used to really want to do like a blockbuster action film type stuff. I've always been a filmmaker. Um, but after Pony, I was kind of more like, oh, I kind of want to do animation now. And there's tons of shows that I never would have watched without Pony. I never would have seen like Steven Universe or Rick and Morty or Gravity Falls or like any of these kind of shows. Like I said, I met tons of people. Some of my best friends I met because of the fandom. I've gotten to go to tons of conventions because of the fandom. I have I'd say a successful YouTube channel because of Pony and the fandom. So that's the one side aspect. The other side is how I look at writing and the kind of stuff that I want to make is I want to make sort of cute, funny stuff now. Um, I'm much more open to, I guess, that side of things. Like I really like cute things as well as uh, cool, epic, awesome things. So yeah.
Oh yeah, your for one, I say your content is very fun. It's got cute animations to it. You know, you're doing a great job with it.
Well, thank you.
Let's see what's next. Sorry, my phone closed. Uh,
Mhm.
all right, I want to hear who is your favorite and least favorite character.
Oh, is it this for Pony?
Pony,
Of course.
yes.
Um, I'm not sure if I have a least favorite. It'd probably be something like Snips or like Grubble from the movie or something. Or like maybe Spike's fake dad I don't know. Something like that where it's like a character that's kind of annoying and um I don't know, probably that. As for favorite character though, it is Trixie.
No way.
Always has been Trixie. Are you a Trixie fan as well?
Kind of. I'm more of a Sunset
Oh,
Shimmer Squad kind of
oh,
guy.
you're kind of based then. Okay. Well,
Kind of.
Sunset
Okay.
Sunset's great too. I do like Sunset.
I don't know.
Um,
I think Trixie only got by simply because Twilight and Starlight kind of carried her.
oof. Oh, the debates begin.
That's for
I
another
think
video. That's for another video.
that's it. Yeah. I think well, because I'm a huge Trixie fan, but I think she is very flawed, and I don't think it's kind of weird. Like ultimately, I don't think she's really that well written either. But I think what really attracts me to her is she has a lot of intrigue and a ton of potential, and there's just so much you can do and she's just so fun to think about, I guess. So I don't know. That's and there's other things too, like she has a killer design. Her personality is really fun. Her voice acting is really, really good. So, I don't know. But yeah, always been a Trixie fan. Even before the show, I watched the show. I was a Trixie fan. So
I mean, I'll give it to you. Trixie, she's pretty cool. Like her story from goofy to villain to redeeming to weird friend to best friend to. So I get it.
weird friend.
Yeah, well, she started out as a weird friend with
She is a weird. Well, she's just weird. She's a
y-
weird pony.
yeah, you. I'm sure you love all her. I'm not gonna lie, the scenes with her in Twilight where she's acting cocky towards her, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's one of her highlights is when she boops Twilight's nose. It's like, yeah, she picked me. That's right.
It's so funny too. She can't do anything about it because that's Starlight's friend, and it's like, it's like it's like you're having beef with somebody, but they're close. Like with, let's say, your best friend, they could be like their sister or brother, and you're having beef with them, and it's like, I can't do anything, but I want to. I really want to squash this beef and
Yeah,
like beat you up. I don't know.
there's some nice little subtext in there. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, but we know. We be honest. We know Twilight would rock Trixie hands down. She would rock her.
Well, yeah. Listen. No, of course. Yeah, and Trixie's probably like the weakest of the show, honestly. Well,
Uh,
this hurts my soul because it's like I love her to death, but it's like I have so much criticism of her. She was potentially one of the greatest.
and I will agree with
That's what
that.
I'll
But we'll talk about it after for sure. Okay.
Okay, sure.
All right. So in terms of characters on this show, G4, what's your favorite romantic ship, even if it's theoretical?
Um, okay, so my favorite ship is actually FlutterTrix. It's not a common one. But yeah,
What?
Fluttershy and Trixie. Yeah, you don't think about it because they never interact in the show, right? They do in Equestria Girls. And interestingly, there is a scene where they do like cuddle and give each other like a look. They make like a little quip at each other, which is interesting. But it's actually kind of a genius ship in my opinion. Because it's sort of an opposites attract type of thing. Okay, they're both complete opposites. Fluttershy is very um, shy, doesn't like going around ponies. Trixie's very confident, all up in your face. But I feel like both characters can help each other a lot. So with Trixie, for example, I see Trixie as she kind of works like a tsundere, where um, she has this sort of outer shell where she's like very uh this is not a word, braggadocious. That's not a word, is it? No,
Braggadocious.
she's
It's
I
a
don't
word today. It's a
she's
word
very
today.
boastful. Very boastful, very she's very mean, pushes you away, but I like to think that inside she's very sensitive and hurt, and like the whole like third person type stuff and all that is like a way to keep people out and away. And the best kind of character to kind of crack the shell and break the shell down is someone like Fluttershy, who is very patient, very kind. So Trixie can kind of get more and more comfortable, and then Fluttershy can help her break out of her shell basically and become a more confident person. And then when it comes to Trixie helping Fluttershy, Fluttershy is a very shy, not very confident person. So Trixie, who is very confident and outgoing, and I would imagine being would be very supportive, could help Fluttershy become more confident. And I also like to think that they'd both like defend each other pretty fiercely. Like if anyone like made fun of Fluttershy, Trixie would be like right like got gets her back. It's like you better back off, you know. Same thing with Fluttershy with her stare, and she can snap sometimes too. So I don't know. That's kind of my thinkings uh on the pair, but yeah.
Interesting. You've actually given me something to think about there. Like anybody listening, think about it. FlutterTrix. Maybe there's something there. Who knows? Yeah,
Think about it. Yeah, it's a
yeah.
little.
Maybe.
I would I was, in fairness, I was convinced by there was a fan fiction written a long, long time ago, and it's called Kindness's Reward. It was a ship fic, but it's basically that idea, and it does everything I'd ever want in Trixie script. But that's what convinced me of the idea, and it's almost like a Beauty and the Beast kind of story, and that's kind of how it works out. And you see Trixie slowly, becoming. There's like a little moment that I really love where it's been days and Trixie's very hostile. And it's like, stop touching me, and like and then like Trixie's been hurt and Fluttershy has to nurse her back to health is basically the story. And then there's like one moment where Trixie like Fluttershy leaves the room, and then Trixie like to herself she says, "Thank you," and that's the crack. That's a little like, she's starting to open up a little bit. She's acknowledging. So I don't know, but yeah.
I feel that. I feel that. I used to be a huge anti Discord Fluttershy kind of person. I'm like, why? It makes no sense there. And then I just kind of gave into it, and now I'm like, dang, that's probably the strongest couple on the show right there.
Yeah. It's yeah, that I mean that's a good one too. But yeah, it's like, yeah, but you notice how in Equestria Girls Discord is in there, and that's why Trixie and Fluttershy get together. So it was
Uh,
just one moment. It's not like a it's like one of
I,
those implied like, well, is it? It's one of those, but whatever.
something to think about, folks. Something to think about. If given 24 hours in Ponyville, what would you do?
Hmm. I would probably all right, so I'd probably like knowing I had 24 hours, I'd probably see the sights. So go around, see the iconic structures. Uh, Honestly, that what I'd probably do is I'd probably just like talk with the various ponies, probably the background ponies, because I don't know as much about them. So I'd probably just talk with them, see what their life's like and how their day's going, and that's probably what I'd do.
Oh,
I'd probably, of course, go and talk with Trixie, but
oh, come
at some point. But
on. You
you know,
want to go and like try all their different foods and go to Canterlot and kiss Princess Celestia's hoof and be like, I adore you. And go to Luna and be like,
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna kiss a horse, but I'd try the
nah.
food for sure.
Wait, you'd be a
Maybe.
horse.
Oh, I'd be a horse. Oh, well, that's different then. Okay, well, be kissing all over him then.
Whoa,
I'd
caught you
probably be
lacking. Caught him lacking.
well, yeah, not well. If I'm a horse, I now that you mention it, I'd probably do stuff that I can't do here. So, experience magic or like fly or something. I don't know,
Oh,
stuff like that. I don't know. So it's sort of I feel like it's a utilitarian kind of interpretation, but I don't know, something along those lines where it's like I would do stuff that I couldn't do here, and then my curiosity would be with just some background ponies.
all right, all right. I like that. That's a good day to spend in Equestria. Getting to meet the characters, trying magic, flying, kissing all over Celestia. I mean, you do
Of
what you
course,
do.
you gotta kiss them.
All right. What was your favorite season and why?
Um, I think ultimately my favorite season would probably have to be season one. And it's not necessarily because it had the best episodes, but it has a lot to do with the vibe of it. Like it's very charming, and to me, the characters feel um well, they're very charming, but okay, it's this weird thing. So when it comes to like My Little Pony, I really like the idea that the ponies act a bit like ponies, and I feel like in season one, that happens more than in other seasons. Like in other seasons, they feel a bit more like humans or like characters, which is like characters that are not ponies, I guess. Well, in season one, they do things like you have Twilight eating a hay sandwich, or in the one episode where Spike's like, "Can I come in?" and Rarity's like, "No, you can't come in. We're all naked." And it's sort of poking fun at like them being horses and doing horse things, and like and I like the quaintness of the town, but I also like how large the world feels in season one, because before because we don't know, but by the end, like the series is pretty thoroughly explored, and everyone's kind of been friendshiped and everything. But in the beginning, it's like it feels like this giant fantasy world where outside of Ponyville there's all this dangerous stuff. There's the Everfree Forest where weather works all on its own, and there's monsters and stuff running around, and dragons exist, and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, that's why I'd probably say season one is probably my
Okay.
favorite. But again, there are great episodes and great moments and everything in later seasons. So I'm not an anti later seasonsist, but yeah.
I get it. Season one supremacy. They did have like, since it was season one, it was a lot of raw energy and raw personality where we're coming to understand who they are first before they can progress and develop these, anything that we feel that maybe they can work on. This is their raw emotions, and those interactions with each other are all the more funny.
Yeah. I also will say I do personally like it when ponies are a little mean to each other. It's just a little conflict, and that's fun for me. So stuff like Rainbow Dash she's very honest in season one. So she'll just say what's on her mind. Like in the fashion show episode where he's upset and is like, everyone hates me, and Twilight's like, no one thinks that, and then Rainbow Dash is like, everyone kind of does. She's kind of making a mess, or she's kind of making like a racket. It's like Rainbow. It's like that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I feel like in later seasons everyone's very forget, and that's fine because they've grown up. But it's not as fun to watch, I guess. The little squabbles they have. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. We're adults. We like a little fun and spiciness in our shows. It's not all wholesome because, our lives is crazy. We like to see a little craziness in their lives. It's like, so they're not so different. If you could give a friendship lesson, what would it be?
Try new experiences. If you're in school, join a club. If you're not in school, go out into your community and do stuff in the community and meet new people. Um, it's insane where how much your life can change, just by doing stuff like this. And especially if you're a more socially awkward person, such as myself. I found this to be very um, helpful in growing. So that's probably what I would say. And just go out, meet new people.
Take his advice for it. Go out, experience life and everything. Essentially, what he's saying is touch grass, okay? Touch grass,
Yeah,
touch the
pretty
asphalt.
much.
Don't go touch people. That's weird.
You can kiss on them, but
Yeah. If you know them, don't go up to random straight. Anyway, all right. If they brought back MLP, what do you think it would include, like story wise?
uh, I don't think that's a good idea. When it comes to something like a reboot, I think it should probably be. It's got to be old, and I think probably it's got to be like very flawed media. I think so. Like an ideal, so something like it's not that, I guess it's kind of getting up there, but something like Disney's Atlantis, I wouldn't mind seeing a remake because it's a it has a lot of really great things in it, but it is a very flawed film, and I don't think I'd even call it a good film, honestly, even though I do like it. Um, but with Friendship is Magic, I mean, yeah, it's not the greatest show in the world or anything, but it's like it's not it's not at the level of, oh, we have to remake it, you know. So I don't think that'd be it. And the characters are also very iconic. So I think that, I don't know. I just don't see a good future of bringing Friendship is Magic, like a reboot of Friendship is Magic. I think absolutely you should do new world, new characters, new rules. 100%.
Fair enough, fair enough. But don't trash my Atlantis. I love that movie. I love it.
I like it too. I like it too. It's, it's just I like it too.
You like it too, but you like it. Okay, okay.
But it's
Uh,
very, listen, I love flawed media, okay? I'm a G1 fan, so that's that's a whole other thing, but like yeah, I don't think it's good, but I do really like it,
oh,
and I
my
think there are some
heart.
great things in it.
That hurts my heart.
The
No.
soundtrack is insane. The characters are really fun. I love, animation, of course. But yeah, designs.
All right, all right. All right, so now we're gonna go on to G1. What are you?
That was
Give
a
us
good segue.
your, yeah. Give us your thoughts on G1.
Um, okay, so G1, it's it's not a good show. Um, it has a lot of flaws. It's kind of a slog to get through a lot of the time. The There's a lot of unnecessary characters and moments and all that kind of stuff. That said, um, I adore it. It's extremely creative. There's a ton of really, really cool ideas that you wouldn't expect in a pony show. And I really love how it portrays ponies. Um, and the way it portrays ponies, it's very charming and humorous. So it's very fun to watch G1 sometimes. And I think there's a lot of lessons that can be learned from G1 in terms of writing, and it's had a big impact on me, I'll say. Um, but it's not for everyone. That's all I'll say. And G4 is obviously a superior show, but G1 kind of opened my eyes to what ponies could be, I think, and that concept. And I've been trying to tackle that concept in projects of mine.
All right. Well, I actually think that someday, maybe someday, we will see a Scooter Trick reacts to G1 series. You never know, people.
Or a re-react or a commentary. I've seen the whole series, so
Yeah, but we gotta see your reactions. We gotta hear it, like play by play commentary.
see this frame. I don't know. Yeah,
People would love it, especially if you did it at a convention. People would eat that up.
redo my G1 is Genius actually panel.
All
I,
right.
I am still thinking of doing a video that goes into G1. It would be like a 2 hour long video where I'd explain why it's actually genius. But
I would I would love that. So everybody, you hear that? If you want to support Scooter Tricks, you got to go to his YouTube channel, subscribe, like the videos, motivate him to get that 2 hour long G1 video out. Let's do it.
yeah, yeah.
All right. So for G1, what is your favorite character and your favorite moment?
So my favorite character is Fizzy. She's a green unicorn with red, green, and white hair. She's got like a red gemstones in her eyes because she's one of the twinkle eye ponies. And she's to me, she's sort of the ideal pony of like what I think ponies should be. She's very friendly and giggly and curious, very childlike, but she's also dumb and airheaded. Um, and I think that's kind of the sweet spot for ponies where you maximize that charm and humor. I also really like her power. The unicorns in G1, they each have like a special power. It's almost like superpowers. But the unicorns have like they only do one specific kind of magic, and hers is bubbles. Which sounds kind of useless at first, but it's actually like the most OP power in the entire series, where they do all these little cool creative things with it. Like she uses a bubble as a parachute, or she uses a bubble to put everyone in bubbles so that they can breathe underwater as they're trying to defeat an underwater villain, or she uses a bubble to pick something up, or uses it as a ball in a game. Just really cool stuff like that. I will also do an honorable mention, Shady. That's my second favorite. She's just very pathetic and self-deprecating, and is very funny to watch, and you also feel very bad for her. So another top contender there. But Fizzy's probably my favorite. And then
A character. Wait, she's self-deprecating, and wait, what makes her
and
a good
pathetic
character? And why does that make her a good character?
because she's fun to watch. It's you don't understand. Like there's like a scene. Actually, well, see, I literally take lines from what she says in the show and put them into my G1 series. That's how funny she is. Like they're walking around trying to find this baby pony that got lost. It's like, "Do you guys hear something? I think I hear something," cuz she's shouting underneath a waterfall and they can't hear her. And then Shady just comes in with like, "What if it's going to rain? What if we'll get all wet and catch pneumonia?" You're like, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
She's
She's like in a
absurd.
different dimension. What do you
She's
There's this great
absurd. I get it.
she's
Yeah.
yeah, there's I tried to emulate this in the one of the G1 shorts, but there's a scene where she's talking with this creature called a bushwoolly, and the bushwoolies, they repeat everything you say and agree with everything you say. And so there's this great scene where she's talking to the bushel and she's like, "Oh, I'm so useless and everyone hates me." And the bushel is like, "Yeah, you're useless and everyone hates you." And her hearing this said to her, she starts to get defensive and she's like, "Oh, I'm not that useless." And then she like gets confidence after this. And I'm like, this is great. It's like there's like some commentary here. I know that wasn't the intention, but like, it's very funny to me. Also, her voice is insanely good. But yeah.
I love that.
So I know we got. I know it's like Fizzy's the best one, but Shady's the. I don't know. That's why I do like the ponies being. I love characters who are kind of pathetic, and I mean that's Trixie, very pathetic. Um, a lot of stuff goes wrong for her, but you kind of feel bad for her and you kind of root for her a bit. So I do like characters like that. Probably my favorite moment. Oh, actually, damn, this is actually kind of hard. I would probably say because there's lots of moments where like the ponies will do dumb things or dumb things will happen. So there's an episode. This is kind of interchangeable. There's so many moments I could say. So one moment would be something like there's an episode where the ponies the furniture in their house comes to life, and there's this one pony who's like trying to water her garden, and then the watering can's like, "No, the plants have had enough water. Don't water them." And then the fence post chimes in, and she's like, "She's useless. Let's get rid of her." And then all of the garden tools come out of the shed and start chasing her, and she's like, "No, I'm sorry. I'll do better next time." And they chase her out of the house, and it's stuff like that where I'm like, this is great. Where was this in G4? The furniture coming to life. Let's go. So that's that. I don't know. Moments like that I really do love.
From what I took from that is do not get high and watch G1. You will have a very bad time.
No, so many crazy things happen in G1.
Any other thoughts on MLP you want to add?
Um, I don't know. I just really like the show. Um, I think when it comes to Pony, see, I'm a writer, so I look at this stuff from that point of view. But I think when it comes to the idea of My Little Pony, I really love the idea and concept of My Little Pony because I think, um, and I think the biggest advantage of this idea is really emphasizing the pony side of it, and I think there's a lot of humor and charm that comes from that. Um, so that's kind of what I look for and what I like most about Pony. So even if the stories are lax, or even if the characters aren't that complex, if there's that vibe or that charm or that emphasis on Pony, then um, yeah, I'm drawn to it.
All right. Lovely words. Great so far. All right, we'll be back on our next interview to talk about ScooterTrix life and the current projects and more fun things. So we'll be back to you in a bit. And now, a word from our sponsors.
Hey Scobbs! Tastiest in all of Equestria! And Emo Equine Society. You can be sad together now. Also, Shouting Ponies in Anime. They shout really loud. Thanks for watching.